Hey guys, what happens when you get Chad Michael Murray of One Tree Hill, Dawson's Creek, even the latest Freakier Friday, which apparently everybody loved and thought he was great in, and you add in Aly Michalka of Disney Channel and that band a million years ago, Aly and AJ, you get one of the worst Hallmark movies I have seen in a long time. Like, shockingly bad. These two looked so depressed at the state of their careers that even I wanted to kill myself by the end of it. Today we are recapping the 2021 Hallmark movie, Sand Dollar Cove. This was really quite surprising and you're gonna see why. So this is your warning, buckle up, maybe take a double dose of your depression meds. So we start off with knockoff Hurricane Katrina footage and we see a town getting destroyed by a storm. And then we get 9 months later in free Times New Roman font. And at first I was like, okay, I'm paying attention. Do you know how few movies, Hallmark movies, start out this way? Normally it's like big city wintertime footage. We're getting this storm, this is something different. Like, okay, I am paying attention. We meet our Hallmark girly in the car. She's trying to find a radio station as she's heading into this like semi-destroyed beachside town. And she looks bored, annoyed, and also on the verge of tears. And she does not change from this state for the entire movie. She pulls up in her convertible, how fancy, to the bed and breakfast that she'll be staying at.
Miss Eversole? Please, call me Ellie. Oh. And you must be Sandy? Everyone calls me Nana.
Lady, I'm not calling you that. Inside Grandma's beachside house, gorgeous by the way, beautiful house, we get this wonderful shot of our girl looking out the window.
It's beautiful here. I'm sure your book's solid.
Why is she grimacing? She looks so pissed off looking at a beach. Girl, what is your problem? We learned from Nana that because of the recent storm, that knockoff Hurricane Katrina footage, a lot of the town has been damaged and they're not getting as many tourists anymore because they basically ran out of money trying to make all of these repairs and stuff. Our girl says she's visiting the town because her employer, like the company she works for, is interested in buying land and developing it. So like putting money into the town to build something, but she doesn't elaborate what. So I guess we're not allowed to know yet. After Nana's, our girl heads off to the beach.
Okay, so the parking lot and land are zoned for commercial use with utility hookups already in place, which is fantastic. The damage to the pier near the shore seems to be superficial, but the damage at the end seems to have broken off in the storm. I'm assuming the pier is still closed to the public due to safety. That's the beginning of the pier. Hey, where'd you come from?
Hey, Bert. Hey, sorry. Sorry about that. Hey, what? Hey, go get it. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know anyone was down here. Piper loves to run on the sand on our lunch break.
Oh, what an angel.
Oh, thanks. She's harmless, I swear. I mean, unless licking people to death counts.
Yes, that is 40-something Chad Michael Murray doing a voice. He doesn't do it throughout the movie, mind you, but we do get it here for some reason. I will say the dog is the best part of this entire movie, so you've been warned, but it looks like just such a nice, pleasing texture. Chad apologizes about the dog, and then he starts lovingly talking about this broken down pier, this damaged pier, and how like it's the heart and soul of the community and it's been around for generations. Keep that up here. You might be wondering, is the love interest in this movie a pier? Yes. We learn that Chad runs the bait and tackle shop, but he literally never goes to work. Ever. I kind of think he's lying, like he's the homeless man that lives under this pier. That's why he loves it so much, and to be honest, that would make more sense than this movie. Our girl goes to the only cafe in this town and we meet waitress Pam. Pam is really fun and friendly and cute, and we learn that she's Chad's like cousin or sister or somebody. She's a relative. Does it matter what relative? Shockingly, no, it doesn't. But unfortunately for all of us, Pam has a daughter which shall only be referred to as the child. The child is annoying. Everyone is annoying in this movie except the dog, and unfortunately the child is one of the worst ones.
Ellie is the one staying at Nana's. Are you the lady who's here by the town?
Oh, I don't know about the whole town, but maybe a part of it, yes. I was looking at the pier today.
My Nana told me all about it.
There really are no secrets here, huh? Especially in our family.
My great-great-grandfather, Ashley LaFay, built the town pier in the 1920s.
So he was a merchant.
Bootlegger. And Ashley's grandfather before him was a pirate.
Might be a bit of a stretch, sweetheart. He was a buccaneer.
Pirate, buccaneer, same thing.
Okay.
Uncle Brody says Ashley's grandfather was lost at sea and he found a cove filled to the brim with sand dollars.
That's how the town got its name. Sand dollars are really lucky.
Uncle Brody says Sand Dollar Cove has more sand dollars than, like, anywhere.
Your Uncle Brody, I think I might have just met him down by the pier. Oh. Does he have a dog?
Piper. She's the best dog in the whole world.
Okay, no, we gotta stop bothering Ellie.
Oh, no. She's no bother.
Yes, she is a bother. Get that child away from me. After the cafe, our girl visits the town mayor. Is that Timu Obama? It's here that we learn that our girl's business, like, it's not her business. The business she's employed by, her employer wants to build a beachside resort. So they want to build a hotel on the beach. Sounds great, would probably make a lot of jobs. Granted, part of the beach would become private, but not the whole beach. And it could help revitalize this town that is obviously really struggling. Great, sounds good. Movie over. I wish.
We're just interested in the land. The pier would have to go.
Do you want to knock down the pier? Sorry, I'm late. Holden, forgive me.
That's all right. I understand. Brody Bradshaw, this is Miss Aly AJ.
We've already met.
Yes, we have. It was delightful, but I didn't know you wanted to knock down the pier.
I thought it was important for Brody to be in this meeting. You know, like I said, we'll cut out the red tape.
I'm sorry, there must be a misunderstanding. I thought the land was owned by Maggie and Josh Bradshaw.
My parents. They gave me the land a year ago. I just haven't gotten around to registering the deeds yet.
I thought you owned the bait and tackle shop.
I do. The bait and tackle shop, the pier, and all the land that goes with it. So, if you want to buy that land, well, you're gonna have to talk to me.
And we get a close-up of our girl looking annoyed at being alive. Me too, honey. Back at Nana's house, they're talking about how Chad is Nana's grandson.
He's wonderful and smart and handsome.
And stubborn.
That too. Oh, you won't meet too many men like Brody Bradshaw. He's my favorite grandson.
Okay, bitch, my God.
Brody's loved that pier ever since he was a little boy.
Oh, he told me. He said it was the heart and soul of the town.
Well, he's not wrong about that. That pier's been part of our history for a long time. It's where people come together to vacation and make memories, whether it's catching their first fish or just hanging out with friends. Everybody's got a favorite memory. I had my first kiss with Brody's grandfather right at the end of that pier.
I lost my virginity under that pier twice. Honestly, at this point, it's only been about 6 minutes, and I don't get this conflict at all. It's a fucking pier. The beach is still there. Get over it. Think how much money Chad would get from the sale. He could build 5 piers. Piers that would survive a storm. Next, we see our girl running on the beach in this very pink, purple fitness number, and her boss calls. This scene is largely pointless, but we need to pad it out. Yes, the padding in this movie over a pier is astonishing. The only thing of note here is the boss is trying to give us some sense of urgency. She's saying that there's another like building company that wants this piece of land. So if our girl can't seal the deal soon, that new company is gonna swoop in and get it. Apparently this is the only beach in the United States. But also Chad doesn't want to sell, and it's not about the money for him. So this like urgency about the other business really amounts to nothing. Love that. Rather than go back to the bed and breakfast to shower after her sweaty morning run, instead she goes directly to the cafe and sees everybody looking concerned.
Our parents host this big summer jamboree party every year. Raises money for the local high school, everything from field trips to performing arts. And this year would be the 20th anniversary. We might have to cancel it.
Why?
Well, storm damage. All our time and resources went to cleaning up the mess. She's got no money left.
Sorry about that.
Are you really sorry about that, Aly? Because you only have one look and that's annoyed. As Chad gets up to leave, our girl is like, hey, like I really need to talk to you about the sale of this property. Like when can we sit down and talk about this? And he's like, oh, I've got errands to do. Let's meet up later. Does this man never work? Back at Nana's, Chad has been called in to help with the Wi-Fi. Who among us hasn't had to help an aging loved one with the Wi-Fi?
I can't seem to get online this morning.
Huh. Let me see if you got a signal.
I got us some iced tea.
And voila. Seems that it was unplugged.
Well, that's odd. Here's your tea.
I'm sure it's delicious.
I had a nice chat with our new guest this morning.
Did you now?
Mm-hmm. She's a little serious, but I think she's got a good heart.
What makes you say that?
A woman's intuition. I told her you're my favorite grandson.
I'm your only grandson.
Mm-hmm. You're still my favorite.
Tell me how there's more sexual tension between Chad and Nana than with our girl. Explain that. Nana says that our girl is staying for 2 weeks and she's gonna need a local guide. Wink, wink. But Chad is annoyed by this and he says now's not a good time. Whatever that means. Later, our girl is in an offensively bright outfit. We do see the star of the show, the dog, and we meet up with Chad. He's going to teach our girl how to fish. Do you guys know the meme about dogs and skinwalkers? This is like not relevant, but we do get a shot here that the dog looks very like skinwalker adjacent. He's still my favorite though. At the end of a different pier, because spoiler alert, there are loads of piers in this town. No matter what Chad says, he's lying to you. There's loads of piers. Now here, Chad is trying to be flirty, smiley, complimentary, you know, like he's really trying to sort of flirt. And our girl is having absolutely none of it. She just looks annoyed throughout this movie. She also kind of gives off the vibe like maybe she's medicated. She gives him a new offer for his land, but he is not interested.
It'll provide a lot of jobs for the community.
That pier has been in my family for generations. I fished off it when I was a kid. And someday, my kids are gonna fish off it too.
I didn't know you had kids.
I don't.
Bro, you're like 50. Aren't you a bit old? Those poor swimmers are not the best quality anymore. They're certainly not One Tree Hill era Chads. Our girl asks Chad when he's gonna be free next to do more of this talking about the land selling thing. This is the whole movie, just talking about selling this pier. She's like, when are you gonna be free next? And he says, well, let's go out to dinner at the cafe. Has anyone considered that maybe this cafe is just doing a bit too much? A coffee cafe in the morning and a fancy dinner restaurant at night. Also, before we move on, she does catch a fish, but we don't get to see it.
There we go. Reel it in.
Yeah?
Well, there we go. Oh.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Look at you. I'd say it's beginner's luck, but I think you're just a natural.
I guess there wasn't enough budget to buy a fish. Don't forget, I have Hallmark bingo cards on my website, talkinghallmark.com. If you are playing along, make sure to check off abrupt fade to black. One of my favorite Hallmark tropes. Next up is dinner at the cafe, but they both arrive early for some reason. So he's like, let me take you on a tour of the town. Now the conversation here doesn't really matter. We don't really get any sort of payoff with it, but there is something that made me laugh. A little bit of Hallmark magic that I just love. If the copyright gods allow, I'm gonna play this scene and just watch.
So why do you work for a developer when architecture's your passion?
Well, I used to work for an architecture firm, but I've always wanted to be an architect and a developer, so I found a role with a company where I could potentially do both.
Dual threat.
Kinda. I love designing. Taking an idea out of thin air and creating a vision for it. It's only half the job.
While she's talking and they're walking, they've clearly done multiple takes of this scene, and they've edited them together, but you can tell that some shots are from different takes. 1 second her arms are up, sort of like upper stomach, and then she's grasping her purse down below and looking absolutely freezing. And then her arms are up again by the next shot, and then, you guessed it, seconds later, they're down again. I love it. Chad talks about his past, and he keeps doing this like fake laugh kind of thing. I think it's supposed to be sort of like a flirty, cutesy thing, but it does get grating because he does it throughout this entire movie. And our girl, you guessed it, looks so annoyed.
I went to law school, joined the biggest law firm I could.
So what are you doing back here?
It turns out that big law firms are more about billable hours, money, than making a positive impact.
So you got burnt out then?
Well, sure. Yeah, I guess I did. And then my dad, he wanted to retire, passed the pier down to me. So I was already at a crossroads. Figured I'd come back for a little while. I was only planning on being here for a couple months.
Well, I'm sure your parents are happy to have you back.
It's debatable. No, I'm pretty sure. I'm just glad that my mom and dad are finally getting to relax. They're actually on vacation in the Bahamas right now.
Oh, fun.
It's finally time for dinner at the cafe. Thank God.
This is fancy.
Girl, why did you say it like that? The waiter brings out these lobster rolls, and Chad once again is trying to be flirty and fun, and our girl is just not having it.
How about this? If you don't like this,
Yeah.
I'll give you the beer.
Wow.
Huh?
All right, I like this bet.
This is how confident I am.
Okay. Here it goes. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you?
And it's at this point I'm like, okay, pause. Hallmark loves enemies to lovers, right? Like pretty much every Hallmark movie is enemies to lovers. So she has to be annoyed with him at the beginning. She has to be uninterested. Like, I get it. But this just seemed so much worse. Like, she genuinely really seems like she's annoyed to be there. She does kind of give off the vibe like maybe she's medicated or something. And then it was this scene I thought, what if it's Botox? Maybe Aly just annihilated her face too much with the Botox, and now this is like the only kind of expressions that she can make. It doesn't explain why her voice is so flat, like throughout this thing, it really doesn't change, but maybe it's a combination between being medicated and just too much Botox. The next day, our girl wakes up and surprise, Chad is already on Nana's porch like a serial killer. And he says like, you know, I've been thinking, and she's like, well, what am I supposed to do while you're thinking? And he says, I want you to make a new proposal to buy the land that doesn't include knocking the pier down. Which is like, yeah, why haven't we done this earlier? That doesn't seem unreasonable at all. Then he decides that he's gonna show her around town, even though they already did that last night. And this town is not very big, so you know they've already seen everything, but they're gonna do it anyway. But also, filming a couple walking around town is very cheap. And you know this movie did not have the budget for activities. As Chad is showing our girl around the shore, he comes up with another plan that's like kind of convoluted, but hear me out. He wants her to draft a new proposal where they would build like a beach club thing on the beach beside the pier. So leave the pier alone, build the beach club thing on the beach, and then the resort would go into this like new location that is not on the beach.
You see that land? Right over there.
Yeah, what is it?
It's the town's old oyster factory. It's abandoned now, so I'll bet the mayor can get you a good deal on the land.
An oyster factory doesn't exactly have the same upside potential as a resort on the actual beach. You know that, right?
I'm no architect, but come on, you can't tell me that's not a beautiful location. Come on.
And no, if you're wondering, we don't get to see the beautiful location. There wasn't enough budget. But question, if this whole time he could sell the land beside the pier, why can't they just build the resort on the land beside the pier. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do they have to buy the haunted, abandoned oyster factory? I don't get it. Also, you shouldn't be surprised, but that is never explained. Our girl is in a new, offensively bright outfit, and she's talking to her like vaguely Asian coworker about this potential new plan. But the coworker just reinforces that the boss does not want a near the beach resort. She wants an on the beach resort. So get back to work. Chad takes our girl back to his house. Ooh, scandalous, which you probably guessed it, is a boat. They talk and it's both deeply annoying and also really cringy, so I'll spare you, but we do get this wonderful scene.
Be careful.
Oh.
You okay?
Yeah. No, I'm fine.
Be careful. I don't want you going overboard.
One less resort developer to deal with.
Now we get another little bit of Hallmark magic on the boat, which again, made me so happy. All of the shots of Aly and Chad on the boat look very cloudy and they're shot kind of upwards and cropped. So I think they were never actually sailing. They were just at the pier and made it look like they were sailing. It's like they didn't have the budget, they didn't have the insurance, and these two hated each other so much they could not be trusted to actually sail together. All of the drone footage of the boat when it's actually sailing is quite far back. You can't see the actors. I don't think it's actually them. I think it's people dressed up to look like them. But it's a beautiful sunny day. You can tell this was shot at a totally different time, and then it's just spliced in with the footage of our actors on the boat, but I think they were just at the pier. Love it. After the fake sailing, Chad and our girl sit and they have this cute little picnic, but they talk about pointless shit. I just glazed over. But we get another interaction between these two. Like, at this point in the movie, there should be chemistry, there should be flirting. We're kind of transitioning from enemies to lovers, right? This is where we are in the movie. And it's here that Chad is opening up to our girl. He's talking about like his grandfather who used to be like this really important person in town. And he's like, you know, I'm afraid that I can't follow in his footsteps. I can't be as good of a man as my grandfather. Like, he's really opening up to her and telling her like some really vulnerable thoughts about how he's worried that he won't be a good man. And our girl says,
I don't know about that. You're local. People seem to love you. You got a big heart. Sounds like you're just like them.
Okay, that right there might be the single most incredible compliment I've ever received. Thank you.
What were you saying again back at the cafe about having to cancel the fundraiser?
what? Totally ignored what he said. I gasped.
Okay, that right there might be the single most incredible compliment I've ever received. Thank you.
What were you saying again back at the cafe about having to cancel the fundraiser?
Unbelievably insane. In the next scene, our girl is on the phone with the boss giving an update. How is the sale going? Chad doesn't want to sell, yada, yada, yada. But she mentions to the boss that wouldn't it be nice if the company sponsored this town jamboree? As we've learned before, the town is struggling to afford it because there was so much damage from the storm. They don't have a lot of extra funds to put on this jamboree. And if the company sponsored it, it would garner a lot of goodwill. The town would really like it. They would get good press in the newspaper. And it's like, yeah, hell yeah, that's a great idea. And the boss says, sure, let's sponsor this jamboree. Chad and the cousin slash sister Pam meet up on the boat and they're talking about the jamboree. It really is pointless. The only notable thing about this scene is Pam's brows. As a big browed lady, I see you. And I see those brows.
How are things going with Aly?
Seem to be going well. I mean, she seems nice enough, yeah?
Oh, it seems nice, huh?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. You spoken to Mom and Dad about her offer yet?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Dad. He says it's my decision.
No. Just taking your sweet time about it?
Because it affects a lot of people.
Okay. Or maybe you just wanted to stick around a little longer.
And why do you say that, Pam?
Oh, because I haven't seen you look at anyone the way you look at Ellie in a really, really, really long time.
Okay, you got me there. Pam, you got me. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't, because if this deal goes south, it's kind of looking that way. She's just gonna move on to her next town, and we'll never see her again.
Stanford's like an hour away.
It's too complicated, okay?
No, it doesn't have to be. You like Ellie. Ellie seems to like you.
You really think she likes me?
I don't know why.
Thank you, Pamela.
Don't you call me that.
Tell me how there's more playfulness in this scene between Chad and the cousin slash sister than there ever is between our two love interests. Whoever casted this movie should be put in prison. Also, if you're playing Hallmark Bingo, I would consider the Jamboree a small town festival, in case you're wondering whether you can get that or not. Yes, I would consider Jamboree a small town festival. The next day, our girl finds Chad and the child at the cafe, and they're making plans for the sand castle competition. Yes, we get 2 small town festivals in one terrible movie. And no, you are not losing your mind. This is the first time we are ever hearing about this competition. They're making plans on what they want to design, and they're like, you should join us, and our girl very politely declines. I don't blame you. But she does tell them that her boss has agreed to sponsor that Jamboree thing, remember the other festival? And apparently that's all that was needed for the festival to go ahead, so everybody's really happy. Yay! And of course, she finally relents and she's going to join the sand castle competition, which guess what? Is that afternoon? This whole section and the whole like sandcastle thing in its entirety is stupid and pointless and annoying and boring, but we need to drag out this movie. Remember, it's about a pier. And what goes with a movie about piers? A sandcastle competition. Back at Nana's, our girl is sketching out sandcastle plans. Is it that serious?
Coffee. You're a lifesaver, thank you.
Stop. Who serves coffee out of a teapot? Am I going insane? Anyway, Nana says you better hurry because the competition starts in 20 minutes. The one that we learned about 6 seconds ago. At the beach, it's time for the sandcastle competition that nobody cares about.
Okay, who is our main competition here?
That's Hal. Hal's dad works in construction, so they're our main competition.
Okay.
He's in construction. What, does he build houses out of sand? How is this relevant? We get a sand montage. Nothing says summer like a sand castle montage. Nothing really happens, obviously. We do get a couple of like flirty looks between the two of them, but the chemistry here is really, really minimal.
We have to announce this year's winner of the sandcastle competition, and it is Millicent Johnson. Come on up here. Good job.
Glad that's over.
I was thinking about hosting a clam bake tomorrow night to celebrate your victory.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah?
Any excuse for a clam bake's good by me.
The only thing is, my back's been acting up. Brody, you think you could dig the pit?
By the time you want me there, Nana.
Coffee will be on at 9?
All right, I'll see you then.
All right, thank you, darling.
Nana and Chad should hook up if they haven't already. Bitch got more riz than this robot. We still gotta drag out this movie, so we get a clam bake montage. Wonderful. Should we be doing that? Lighting the grass on fire? Finally, that night, the food is ready. Thank God.
When was the last time you had a real clam bake?
Honestly?
Yeah.
This is my first one.
What?
You've never been to a clam bake, dear?
Afraid not.
They're talking like she's never used a telephone before. You've never used a toilet? I'm afraid not. Oh, you poor thing. It's a fucking clam bake. Who cares? The boss calls and basically is like, I'm happy to sponsor the jamboree. Yes, we still have the jamboree, so get ready for that. But the company is starting to look elsewhere for potential land. They can't just like wait around to see like, will Chad sell, will Chad won't sell? And honestly, fair, that makes sense. If Chad doesn't agree to sell the land soon, they'll just go someplace else. And honestly, let's just do that. Save us having to watch the rest of this. At the cafe with seemingly no customers, they're working on the jamboree.
It's gonna be the coolest summer jamboree ever. Yes, like last year, we'll have the balloon arches, the bounce house, and dunk tank. You have one? Oh, hold, please. We need a dunk tank.
Definitely.
Definitely. Thanks, George. Don't you gouge me. It's for the high school. Okay. Have a good day. I think you've outdone yourself.
I have a vision.
You do. You're perfect.
And that's it. Moving right along, we're at Chad's boat and Nana comes over with leftovers, but it's really just a ruse because she wants to talk about our girl's proposal for buying the land.
Aly's boss still insists on tearing down the pier if we'll sell him the land.
Sounds like that might be a good thing for the town.
Goodness, does anybody else care about the history of our family but me?
Of course, their history's important, but so are you. Don't let the past rob you of your future, right? Life is about more than buildings and places and piers. It's about spending time with the people you love. It's about making new memories. It's about going after your dreams.
Bitch had this whole big speech at the beginning of the movie about this fabulous virginity losing pier and how special it was, and now she wants to sell it? Disgraceful. Nana is in a lot of gambling debt to some very dangerous people. She needs the cash to get out of it, I can just tell. We get a few scenes that are so pointless that they are literally painful. And I've watched this movie twice. One at the cafe where our girl shows the plans that she's made for the jamboree, like just totally inserted herself into that, I guess. Then we get a scene that is so long. I could not believe how long it was. Literally of just our girl and Pam talking and walking for literal miles. Pam talks about her past and like how she met her husband, and it's really boring. But the moral of this entire like 8-mile walk is basically it's better to stay in your small town and meet your husband and be a wife than it is to like leave and do something else. Hallmark loves that. Back at the cafe, Chad shares his plans for a new business. So basically he was a lawyer, but then he stopped doing that because it was all about the money. But he comes up with this idea of like using his lawyer skills to make this business in town that would like help everybody and they could help each other and whatever. And honestly, it's pointless because nothing comes of this. He doesn't make this business, like literally nothing happens. We just need to know that Chad is a good guy. Another pointless scene. Love it. Moving right along, next up, we're almost there. Hold on. Are you still awake? Chad brings our girl to the kitchen in the cafe, like the back end kitchen, to make her dinner.
I can't believe you're actually cooking for me.
Why not? Come on, it's the least I could do. All the work you've been doing with us to help Jamboree.
I'm having a good time.
Are you sure about that? It's nice that he reheated pasta sauce and noodles, I guess. Ladies, let's raise our standards.
You're full of surprises, Mr. Brody Bradshaw.
How would you feel about one more surprise?
What? Honestly, I was so shocked. We haven't had any chemistry up until this point, and then all of a sudden we got a make out? Like, couldn't believe it. Now it is finally time for that jamboree that nobody could shut up about. And boom, one kiss and she's in a wedding dress. We get a jamboree montage as the audience loses the will to live. Then it's finally dark, and for some reason, Chad introduces the band. And honestly, this introduction goes on for 3 minutes. At first I thought, oh, like maybe it's his band, like maybe he's gonna be the lead singer and he's introducing, you know, the band. But no, he's just introducing the band for 3 minutes. And you can probably guess why, because we gotta pad this bitch out. Because don't forget, this is a movie about a pier. An hour and 24-minute movie about a pier. Afterwards, the two dance together, but rather than dancing to a song from the band that we just spent 3 minutes being introduced to, it's an actual song from Leon Bridges. Love him. Can't play it for copyright reasons, but fabulous. And now we know where all the budget went. They're about to kiss, but oh no, the boss calls and she's standing at her desk like a supervillain. The boss says, I know you've worked really hard, but it just doesn't seem like Chad is gonna sell his land and we need to move on. So she wants our girl back in the office tomorrow morning, first thing tomorrow morning, and they're gonna start looking at new locations. Also, it's like the middle of the night. What is this girl's working hours?
These last couple of weeks have been really amazing getting to know you. But I gotta get back to real life.
What are you talking about? I mean, we could still try to give this a chance. You're only in Stanford. It's not that far away.
Yeah, but I don't know if the development will bring me elsewhere, and I don't know if I'll be able to visit.
My brother in Christ, this woman is breaking up with you. I'm so sorry, honey. The next morning, our girl has a tearful goodbye with Nana. She gets into her cute little car. Rather than drive the couple of hours, we know it's a couple of hours back to the office, she drives to the ruined pier and sits on the beach. Honey, you were expected into work like today, this morning. But in true Hallmark fashion, at the last second, our girl gets an idea. Of course she does. She finally arrives at work 7 hours late, don't worry about it, and she shows her solution to the boss. Now, we don't get to see it because fuck you, we have to pad this out a bit more. Then she's back at the beach and we see Chad and the dog hanging out. I guess he's not working that day or ever. Before she can say anything, Chad is like, I agree, I want to sell you the land, I want to sell you the pier, like I want you to take it all, like I don't care, it doesn't matter anymore. Bro is so desperate, he's willing to just throw it all away.
You don't have to give up the pier.
Wait, what?
I worked up a new concept last night. Keeping the pier intact as a centerpiece.
You're serious?
Yes. Instead of tearing it down, we're gonna repair it. And I've just approved all the changes. I'm gonna be designing and project managing the new resort here in Sand Dollar Cove.
What? Why wasn't this the original plan? I literally cannot. If keeping the pier was such an issue to selling the land, why wouldn't they make a proposal that included keeping the pier? I literally can't.
And how long did you say that this project would take to build?
2 years?
I'll take every minute I can get.
Me too.
Well, thank fuck that's over. As with all my Hallmark recaps, we have 3 categories: chemistry, plot, and overall enjoyment. So for chemistry, this has to be a 0 out of 5. Chad kind of tries, you know, he does this like, you know, the cutesy fake laugh that's really annoying, but he's trying. I was so shocked at how miserable annoyed and upset Aly looked throughout this. It kind of felt like she thought Hallmark was beneath her and she couldn't believe that her career has stooped so low. For plot, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. We have an hour and 24 minutes about saving a ruined pier. Okay? That's insane. However, for overall enjoyment, I have to give this a 2 out of 5. This was one of the more boring Hallmark movies I've watched before. I watched it with a group, which always helps because you guys can make fun of it together. You know, there's banter. But even still, this one was painfully boring. Although there are a few flubs that made me laugh. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have a Hallmark movie or like a TV movie you'd like me to recap, please leave a comment down below. If you would like to watch something else, how about this one? This was another one where the chemistry felt angry. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!